show us here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Bodies by Jeremy Smokin.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Lions Talk with Smokin' me, Smokin' Jeremy B, and Von Doom. Hey, look, he's on camera.
John Cena's gone. I don't know where the hell he went.
Oh, I do see Pasty J Glazer, though. But I love that background. That looks like the Leaf Raymond, and 36 at that time, I believe, was Jerry Jacobs before he changed his number for this year. And then the other one's Tracy Walker.
Something like that.
And Ricky Sakot comes in and says, "Good morning, men. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you here. Look at that. The likes going up already. You're at 3 out of the 9 that are watching. That's fantastic. But let's talk about the NFL honors. Most deserving award that was given out, it has to be CJ Stroud. Say what you want. Laporta may have set records as a tight end and did things that no tight end's done since 1980. But at the same time, we haven't seen a rookie quarterback and come out and be that dominant since Andrew Luck. And he won the Offensive Rookie of the Year that year, so and most deservedly so. And the Texans weren't thought to even be sniffing anywhere near the top of that division prior to the season. I watched countless shows and countless professional shows, ESPN, NFL, CBS, Fox. They all said Texans will probably place last. Is it? Is Dan Campbell finishing third on the Coach of the Year as a travesty? Because you know what? He actually did exactly what was expected to him as the coach of the Detroit Lions. We were expected to win the division. We were expected to win a home playoff game. The only thing that we got that was extra was winning the second round and a second home game. And if the Cowboys weren't frauds, we wouldn't have had a second home game. We'd have went to Dallas.
I agree. Dan Campbell, he wasn't more deserved than D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans took a team that was expected to be trash in his first year and took them to the playoffs. And Kevin Stefanski, okay, I'm still a little salty on that over D'Amico Ryans. But when you consider he did have like 800 quarterbacks this year, it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, they did have 5 starting quarterbacks and played 3 other backups throughout the season. A total of 8 quarterbacks played for the Cleveland Browns. And I understand. That being said, yes, it was a surprise they made the playoffs. But at the same time, they were considered prior to the season a dark horse to win the division. So that meant they should have been a playoff team. And that was because of how good that defense was. And their defensive coordinator got better by adding Jim Schwartz, who did get Assistant of the Year over Ben Johnson. And Mike McDaniels was second for the Ravens. And say what you want, I think that's the right order on that, too. They were the 3 best assistants in the league.
I concur.
Browns had the best defense overall, even though it didn't look like it when they played the Texans. And that's why I had D'Amico Ryans above Kevin Stefanski.
I had him up there. I've been praising him all season.
But I think the reason why Dan Campbell is third is they put Kevin Stefanski up there. Otherwise, it'd have been D'Amico Ryans, Dan Campbell, then Kevin Stefanski is the order it should have been, in my opinion.
I probably still would have had Campbell at third. I would have definitely had Stefanski above him just because of that quarterback situation there. And then the signing freaking Joe Flacco and him being Joe Flacco again.
So, but in my opinion, I'm just saying they were expected to make the playoffs, regardless of who was at quarterback because of the defense, the Browns. We were expected to win our division and expected to win a playoff game, and we did that and then went one further is why I put Dan Campbell ahead of them, because the Browns went to the playoffs and laid a dud. Michigan hired Wink Martindale as their defensive coordinator today. How do you feel about that, Dan?
Better
Well, you know
hope your
what?
corners can fucking cover.
The cornerback room isn't as dead as some of the other rooms are after this exodus of young players. So I think the cornerback room is fine. I think losing that D-line coach we lost is bigger than everybody wants to realize. I think Sharon Moore had to do something to stop the bleeding of coaches. Because if he didn't get a valid DC, he was probably going to lose secondary coach and the rest of the coaches.
Oh, yeah. I don't expect anything out of Michigan this year, honestly. I expect them to win 8 times. That's it.
I think they're going to win 10, 11. I don't. Just because we're going to get to hear him call a name that'll be fun when he throws a touchdown pass. And Orgy throws it into the end zone.
It'd be funnier if the Lions draft him and then they had a quarterback and controversy, Hooker and Orgy. Which one starts?
Well, the Orgy is more fun and usually free. Sorry.
But no, like the whole Wink Martindale thing, you have to have a good secondary because he likes to run man coverage, blitz zero. It's just what he's always been. Like, your linebackers will look great, but you'll let up yards in passing game.
Yep. That being said, my most surprising one was Myles Garrett getting the Defensive Player of the Year when both, even though TJ Watt missed most of the last game, had better stats. And Micah Parsons had better stats than all of them. I think Micah Parsons deserved it this year.
TJ Watt missed a couple weeks.
Yeah, he missed a week in the middle of the season, and then he missed the last game from the beginning of the first quarter. He got hurt because they played their starters in week 18. Like we said, I don't see resting all the starters, but like your guys that have a tendency to miss games when they're the top of your top caliber of your team, you can't afford to miss them in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they needed that win, so that's why they played those guys.
I understand they needed the win.
They don't win, they don't go in.
But I think they were still winning that game anyways because of who the other team was sitting.
Maybe.
Oh, they're saying Jaden Denegal is a modern day Ben Roethlisberger, so we may not see Orgy.
Keep him out of the bars in Cleveland, and you'll see Orgy all you want.
Who is your most surprising winner?
Lamar Jackson. Everybody's on that hype train that Lamar Jackson was the MVP, and I just don't see it. His stats were not better than CJ Stroud. Brock Purdy was better. CMC was better. Stroud was better. Stroud, in my opinion, should be the MVP.
Yeah, well, I knew it wasn't going to happen. I said if he wins one, he's not winning the other. And the same for CMC. I actually said that because they never give it to the same person. I think they've done it once in NFL history and not in the modern era. So
Mhm.
as soon as CMC won Offensive Player of the Year, I think, well, there's one less MVP. Ricky Sagat says that he goes, I think the true MVP was Josh Allen. Take him out of Buffalo, and they're a 3-4 win team. I promise. But at the same time, if they'd have sat him a couple of games when he started to get turnover prone, they'd have won 2 more games. Every team does it. You got a franchise quarterback. Oh, Robert Bertana. I didn't say he deserved coach of the year, but he did get the AP Coach of the Year award, and he was voted Coach of the Year by the Players Association. So there's that. So he did get some awards, but he didn't get the NFL awards, which it doesn't matter. I still think DeMeco Ryans was the most deserving for the Coach of the Year. Um, what was your most surprising one, Dan?
I told you, Lamar. I don't think he deserved it at all.
What did you think the comeback player of the year?
Flacco.
Yeah,
I agree 100% on that.
I the one that would have made me upset was the guy that lost his starting job by week 4 and ended up playing a total of 44 snaps after that on special teams.
DeMar Hamlin.
Yep. Don't get me wrong, it's a great story, but it wasn't deserving because he wasn't as much for his team as everybody else. Ricky Sakat said Flacco over DeMar for sure.
Hell, I took Baker Mayfield over DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, but you know what? To come off the couch, sit a week, and then go 4-2 with a team that was floundering and might not make the playoffs at the time, because that's what put them in the playoffs.
Yep. And to throw 300 yards and multiple touchdowns in 4 of those 5 regular season games, that's kind of impressive.
It's darn right amazing, really, to come off the couch, no practice, no playbook, come in a week, sit a week, watch the quarterback that's starting in front of you lose, and get, hey, next week you're starting, and go, okay, and just do it. In his first week, no, it wasn't great. He still threw for, what was it, 300 yards, even though he had 3 picks and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And then he went 350 and 4 touchdowns, 403 touchdowns. I mean, he had 3 amazing games back to back to back.
You got to also think, man, the Browns did all that with Nick Chubb. You heard him, what, week 2?
Yep, against Pittsburgh. You know, and I watched that, and even though it wasn't a dirty hit, when you watch it in slow-mo, it looks way more intentional than it was in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that with any hit in the NFL. If you slow it down, it looks way more deliberate. Or every now and then, they look worse. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, it actually don't look as bad. When you slow things down, a forearm shiver looks like a bump. All I got to say.
Ricky, I agree 100%. He wouldn't have been on that roster if he didn't freaking have that whole stuff happen and they had to make a big thing out of it. He was a storyline addition to the team. That is it. He wasn't a great player at Pitt. He's not a decent player in the NFL.
He's an average special teams player is what he is. That's what I see. He tends to lunge tackle, which we all know leads to either one of two things: an injury or a whiff tackle. Little tired over there, Dan? Not enough coffee?
Not enough coffee. My coffee pot broke.
Oh, that's a travesty.
The wife woke me up at like 6 o'clock and goes, "Yeah, your coffee pot's not working." I was like, "Son of a bitch."
What was it? Sam Laporta was second and Gibbs was third or fourth in the voting, I think it was. No, it was Puka Nacua was second, Sam Laporta third, and Gibbs was fourth. What's funny is Behan was not ahead of either Lion drafted in the first or second round for Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I think it was right.
I think he went to one of the worst possible situations possible for him.
And it's weird because they actually do have a decent run blocking line. It's pass blocking that they suck at. And I don't care what quarterback they get. And I think until they fix the interior part of that O-line, that quarterback is going to continue to struggle no matter who it is. Chantel Brooks says Dan Campbell and D'Amico Ryan should have been voted the cutest coaches for real.
Yeah, but that's not what it says. Read that. That says coach. That says couch.
Yeah, it does say couch. I know what you meant, coach. I just read it properly. You know, I read into horrible texting stuff because it happens to me all the time when I'm trying to type and I type in the wrong letter, or autocorrect gets a hold of something because another word's closer to what you typed than the actual word you wanted.
Facts.
If you get a text from me and it says this is ducking unreal, there's no way I meant to say ducking. Fred Peterson, good morning, sir. I just found out I get the honor of hosting Football Talk with Russell Wayne here at the top of the hour at 11. So I will be on with Main Event Mike and Grove GT, so you get to see my beautiful face for another hour today. God help you all. I hope your TV screens don't crack. Fred Peterson says, hell yeah, buddy. Look at this. It's the awards day. I shaved everything. Plus it's 60 degrees here. Nah, I burnt something in the pan last night and needed a better Brillo pad, so I figured this would work. Wow. Ricky, that's huge. Good. If you're not on, Jeremy, I'm not interested. LOL. Look forward to this every morning. And starting next week, my show moves to the 11 o'clock hour because Russell Wayne's show moves to the 3 o'clock hour. During the off season, after the Super Bowl, I will be live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning because news slows down for quite a few weeks. Oh, there we go. He wanted to ask you this when you had to leave early the other day. Fred Peterson says, Leonard, how in the hell did you end up a New York Giant fan living in the hills of PA? Are you neighbors with the Hills Have Eyes folk?
No, but there's a bunch of Mennonites out this way. I was born and raised in Jersey, in like central New Jersey. So my grandfather was a Giants fan, and that's just kind of what I picked up. My pops hated football. My mom was a Dolphins fan. So yeah.
Yes, Ricky. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11. You're originally from upstate New York, right?
Nope.
Or is it New Jersey?
New Jersey. I was born in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Okay. I knew you had that type of East Coast accent.
And attitude.
That up East accent attitude that starts from New Jersey and runs all the way to Maine.
Yeah.
South of that, the attitudes don't count.
No, it just doesn't. Also, don't forget Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we have the night show as well.
Oh yeah. Well, no, Mondays we take the day off during the off season. It's Wednesdays and Fridays only. So we're doing 5 shows a week in the off season. So how are you related to Danny DeVito?
I don't know. Somebody screwed somebody along the lines and had kids. I don't know.
You know, it's like in distant relations, I'm related to Eli Lilly. So, but do I get 1 penny of that drug money? Nope. The only legal drug money I could get my hands on, and I don't get any of it. What I am directly related to, but they sold the company. It's owned by one of the bigger chains. Is Balric's Potato Chips out of Ohio. That's actually my last name, as you can see. My great grandfather started that with his twin brother. And how they got here from Germany, which was in early 1900s, was they left Germany as trapeze artists with the Ringling Brothers Circus. So yeah, I come from a family of clowns. Yeah,
That explains so much.
it does, don't it?
Ricky, yeah, I watched that this morning. The clip of that where The Rock slapped the shit out of him. That was awesome.
Was it Dusty or Cody that he hit?
Cody.
Okay, yeah.
Dusty's dead.
Yeah, I would say Dusty died like what 5 years ago, something like that, maybe 10. I love the way that Triple H and The Rock set Cody Rhodes up for failure, though, making Cody Rhodes think that Rock was going to be in his corner.
They were going to give Cody the match originally. Then that Vince stuff came out, and they had freaking The Rock come in because, hey, look over here and forget about this crap over here. Then they said, The Rock's going to be Roman.
Oh, shit, Jeremy, I'm not going to get started the circus. I'll love bros. Hey, it's okay. It just means that, trust me when I know for a fact, I must have those genes in my family because we made 8 people fit in a Chevette.
Ricky, while I agree with you there, he was brought into the publicity stunt to just try to get people to forget about what was going on. And don't be surprised when Cody doesn't win this year because of interference with The Rock. And Roman holds that title until next January because the whole plan with him was for him to break Hogan's streak so they could write Hogan out of the record books.
Yep. Because Hogan was Vince McMahon's poster child for the WWF at the time. Yep. It's
have you read the documents?
Yeah, you sent them to me.
Ricky commented about Vince being a pig. I read all 67 pages that came out of that, and oh my god, dude,
he's beyond
like that's some shit that's some stuff you wouldn't even see on freaking porn sites.
Depends on which one you go to. There's some OnlyFans girls that are pretty nasty.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they won't let you deprecate their hair.
They would.
JB.
Yeah, I'm awful.
JB, you said in the offseason we're doing Monday and Friday evenings?
Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, the NFL show, and I do one evening show for the Lions. Yeah, and he wanted his girl to defecate on him too. Yes. Yeah, Vince McMahon is a disgusting pig.
We should do a wrestling show, man.
I think that's an insult to pigs to call him a pig. Pigs are actually cleaner than Vince McMahon.
Pigs are one of the cleanest animals there are.
Well, let's get back to football. I agree. The Wednesday and Friday shows are at 9:30 p.m. 9:30, I cover the whole NFL. I bring in fans of other teams to talk about the news that's coming out. We discuss all of that stuff. And during the regular season, it ends up being a pick'em show. I like doing my pick'ems on Wednesdays because you're picking your games prior to any games being played, with them being played on Thursdays now. And then the Friday night show is where I bring on a bunch of Lions fans, and any Lions fan in the chat. Let me put up my ticker up here, because if they want to be a part of the show, you just got to email me, and my email will go right across the bottom of the screen here, and we will let you be a part of the show to talk about the Lions news. And yes, that's the huge news that I think is better than anything that came out in the NFL awards. Frank Ragnow said he's not retiring.
I agree. It needs to be
investigated. Yes. As a matter of fact, I do have a cash up. It's at, or the $ in my name. Ricky.
Drop it in the chat.
Yeah. There you go.
Damn, that's a little excessive, huh?
What?
1, 2, 3. If you look in the chat, it popped up all three of them.
Yeah, it popped up into my YouTube channel. It popped into the Football Talk 365 channel, and it popped up on the Villain Squad, which is where I believe Ricky is talking to us from. I appreciate it. You know, I like I said, I know why I started this show. I know why I got into it to begin with. But if it wasn't for a bunch of people that I am honored to say that helped my career get to where I'm at in this, Dan Leonard's one of them. Because he was on the first show that I actually was a part of. And we started out as a love-hate relationship. We loved to hate each other. Because I would repeatedly remind him about Kenny Golladay being a part of his roster while he was injured. It was worse in the first year than it is now that he's finally off the books. Dan Leonard can breathe again, because that's $19 million he appreciates having back for his team.
Yeah. You know where that went? Danny Pesos. Danny Pesos.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ricky. We got our first donation for the show. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you so much. Anything helps. It all goes towards the streaming fees, any equipment we need, and stuff like that. That's what it's going to be going for. Speaking of which, Leonard's getting some new equipment soon that he's excited about.
Damn right. Got a new camera, so we get a better picture here. I won't look so damn pasty. Got the mic, got the soundboard, got it all coming in.
Wait, a better camera, maybe you'll look pastier. If it makes the colors,
I'll punch you right in the cocksucker.
Hey, I will never call another man a cocksucker. You want to know why? Because you never know if they're trying to quit.
I didn't call you a cocksucker. I said I'm going to punch you right in your cocksucker.
You're saying my mouth is one. It's not.
Hey. Yes. That Jeremy Ballrich, he's a real motherfucker. Somebody should punch him right in the cocksucker.
Hey, you went all up east on that sucker.
Dude, what was that from? I believe it was from the Jerky Boys back in the day when he's doing that whole Frank Rizzo skit.
Fred Peterson, it gets better than this. Wait, look what he says. In my best Chris Farley impersonation. You remember when the Lions traded that worthless receiver to New York Giants? Yeah, that was pretty cool. The best part was
we didn't trade him. We freaking signed him because you guys were asking.
They signed him off the street, and he blames us.
Yeah, for not re-signing him. I blame you for having Matthew Stafford, who made him look like he was a legit receiver for a little bit there.
Hey, I warned you as soon as you guys signed him. The first time I saw you on Andy's show, I was like, he's not that good, didn't I? Isn't that what I
No.
said right away?
Mhm.
You said, "Oh, please God, don't tell me that." I said, "No, he's gonna make
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard look like Randy Moss." I told you that, and he did that first year. And Sterling Shepard had his worst year that season.
Sterling Shepard, man, that dude has such an injury-plagued career. He could have been a solid possession slot receiver, but he just could not stay healthy. Meat whistle.
Oh, me. That's awesome. uh, my dad pops in the chat from every now and then, and I love when my dad pops in the chat. I love the fact my dad's still here. I'm blessed to have both my parents. Um, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I didn't have mom.
Man, the people that still have their parents appreciate them. It sucks once they're gone.
Yep. And I'm going to say it once again. I said it in a post on my page yesterday. Every day, please hug your children a little tighter every day, because having one less that I can't hug ever again, that's a hole I can't fill.
Yep. But if you need an extra one, I'll gladly give one or two away.
No, I'm tired of dependence.
They'll help your taxes.
Yeah, they'll help your taxes too. You can keep them. You made them. You can keep them. If you want to get rid of the adopted one, you just call the agency back. My dad passed away when I was 14. Took me 10 years to recover. I'm 40 now, and there's still times where I wish I could have him around and ask a few questions too. You know what? I can relate to that. My second mom was my grandma, my mom's mom. She raised me for a couple of years during my childhood. Oh, we're taking recipes. Oh, what's the new recipe you got from the award ceremony? That's what I want to. I want to know. Well, what do
So,
you think?
what do you?
What what what
Yeah.
what what lion do you think deserved anything more than these people? Please tell me, because I still think Dan Campbell was second best in the Coach of the Year. I think Sam Laporta and Gibbs. Sam Laporta and Gibbs fell right where they should, because Puka Nakua, you can say what you want, but he was on pace just like Sam Laporta and had way more yards. He just had less touchdowns and way more receptions. I think the Rookie of the Year fell exactly how it should. CJ Stroud, as a first year quarterback, did things we haven't seen since before Andrew Luck. And that was a first year starter out the gate. Ben Johnson over Jim Schwartz for best assistant. I can see where you can make that argument, but I think if Jim Schwartz lost it, Mike McDonald, is it McDonald or McDaniel? McDonald, right?
Mike McDonald is the one that's now the Seahawks head. Mike McDaniel is the one that is the Dolphins.
He would have won it for being the defensive coordinator of the Ravens, because that defense was way more dominant overall than the Lions defense. And also Jim Schwartz, I remember when he was with us. I miss Jim Schwartz when he was with us. Justin Caldwell took that defense he built from a Ferrari to a Yugo.
Jim Schwartz did a really good job this year. Was with Dallas?
But no, he was with Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Brown defensive coordinator. Here's the thing. You got to look at what Jim Schwartz was given. Jim Schwartz was given an 0-16 team, which got them Matt Stafford as the rookie quarterback, who didn't get to play much because he had the shoulder injury. The next year, didn't get to play much because he re-injured that shoulder, because the calcium deposits that grew on that broken shoulder repaired blade made it too big and limited his movement. And then we had the what was it, the 11-5 year where we just missed the playoffs, or just missed being the division winner. And then the next year he went 7-9. Then the year after that he went 8-8, and they decided not to re-sign him. Jim Caldwell was the wrong hire. It was the safe hire. They went polar opposite. They went from a defensive coach who built that defense up, and they were like, anybody can coach this defense. The thing is, anybody can coach that defense, but not everybody can keep that defense together. That defense was more important than giving Matt Stafford the bag. Giving Matt Stafford the bag. Oh, I'm sorry, Chantel. I'm not ignoring it. I know you said you lost both of yours, and yes, we're blessed. I got it. I just was addressing the football talk. Says I don't have either of mine, but I'm still blessed. Yes, yeah, everybody's blessed. You know what? Despite any loss that I've had in my life, I am blessed. And so is anybody who's still this side of the sod and upright. Any day you wake up and you can suck wind and talk shit, it's a good day.
You're not wrong.
And that's how I live my life. And that's why I say what I do at the end of every show, is because I truly believe it's the only way we can improve this me first society. We have so many people that are so worried about their opinions getting out there now. As long as God allows us to wake up, it is a great day. He blesses us in many ways. Absolutely, Ricky. Steve, I'm blessed to have you all as friends. Thank you. That is Steve, whose original name on YouTube was Steve is Real. Yeah. With an LA Knight, yeah. I'm blessed that I get to do another hour with you here shortly. We're going to be talking about the Lions Villain Squad, Lion of the Year. We're going to find out from Mike who the voting was and who won it. We're going to talk about the NFL Honor Show in a little more detail. We're also going to have Grove GT on of And We Know Sports, with everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah. Packers had a
I
great
like
year.
his but the dummy was better.
The what?
When he was Eli Drake in TNA and he would call everybody dummy. The way he said dummy was just great.
Steve says I met a lot of great people on these podcasts. You know, everybody has moments of greatness in podcasting. And I'm going to tell you a little bit why I do things a little differently. I like looking at the realistic side of things. I like looking at what is concrete. I might talk a little more rumors in the off season because the news is so slow with doing 3 shows a week, but I will not address them on Fridays. And I'll tell you why. Because I read them, and some of them are so far-fetched, it actually makes me laugh. I was like, I can't even use this as news. It's not news. The only thing that I said, and it was 3 weeks prior to trade deadline, and I said it on Russell Wayne's show. We called to try to get Montez Sweat before the Bears did. The Washington Commanders turned down Brad Holmes and offered Chase Young, and we said, no, we're good, and hung up the phone. So, and with Chase Young being benched for the Super Bowl, doesn't that kind of back up why Brad Holmes said, yeah, we're good? And the fact that he tried to get Montez Sweat means he did try to get the right guy, but the asking price was too high for what the Lions had to offer.
He's not benched. They're just considering benching him, it says, though.
Yeah, but it's been every day for the past 4 days they've been talking about benching him because of his lack of effort throughout the entire playoffs. He's on the field 75% of the time and only gives them 8% production. But remember, whether you're on the Villain Squad, whether you're on Motor City Kneecap Biters, whether you are on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, whether you are on YouTube at Football Talk 365 or Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions, don't forget to smash the like button. I'm not as good at doing Randy Macho Man Savage as Russell Wayne, so I'm not even going to attempt it. Because he does that almost spot on. It's great. I love it when he does that. I remember some outcry from Lion fans saying not giving up a third for Chase Young, but I also saw your guys' post this morning. All 23 draft picks Holmes has made is still with the team, and those picks are way more valuable than Young is. Yeah. Hey, Michael Huck, you're exactly right. Young, we all said this. Young should be feasting with all of the attention on Bosa. I'm glad we didn't get him. Didn't they give up a conditional second round pick and it was on the condition that they were the 1 seed in the NFC, that it would be a second rounder instead of a third? Yeah, it absolutely was. That was the condition of the pick. So now it's a second rounder they gave up. The 49ers and the Rams finally get to pick in the first round this year.
No, the Commanders dropped the price.
Nope. Oh, they did drop the price?
Yeah, they dropped it, the price of the 49ers to the 49ers, who ended up sending a compensatory third-round pick.
Yep, the 49ers are not even happy with Young, nor is any of the fans. I've seen their fan podcasts because I watch when we're getting ready to face a team to see what their fans are saying about the team prior to a matchup. I go and watch 2 of them because I don't do shows on Tuesday and Thursday nights usually. So that's my free nights to go watch stuff. And wow, the stuff they were saying about Chase Young when they traded for him versus what they were saying 3 weeks later, they weren't happy. So they lowered it. It's no longer.
It's just compensatory third-round pick.
Oh, it went to a compensatory third round? Good. Well, then that's actually the value it should have been. Because with the way he's playing, I would not have wanted to give up a second round pick. I still wouldn't want to give up a third round pick the way he's playing. I said I'd have traded Will Harris for him straight up.
Absolutely.
That would have been an even trade, really. Get the same amount of effort out of both of them. 8% production. I might have even thrown Burrito Jones in that trade. And how I came up with the name Burrito Jones, I'm going to explain it one more time for those that never heard it. I call Benito Jones Burrito Jones because he gets wrapped up in more one-on-one blocking situations like a hot tortilla. My best friend ever is a Commander fan. I want to see them succeed for him so badly, and they are light years off. You want to talk about a terrible secondary? Just look at Washington. I don't blame Ben Johnson for not wanting the job. Nor do I. But where I think Washington made the mistake is they just hired a guy that's responsible for the biggest football collapse in a Super Bowl ever. Dan Quinn was head coach. Burrito Jones, that shit had me dead yesterday. But he was the head coach of the Super Bowl of the then winning at the end of the third quarter. What was it? 31-3?
28-3.
Oh, 28-3. You're winning by 28-3 and you don't run the ball but 4 times in the entire fourth quarter. As Gomer Pyle would say, for shine, shine, shine. It's kind of like coming out of the first half with 148 yards on the ground and don't rush the ball till the end of the third quarter. Same thing.
So you're saying Ben Johnson's a bum too?
I'm saying he did his best impression of Jim Caldwell for one quarter every game.
I'm just saying, apples to apples, it's the same exact thing as Dan Quinn there.
But it was third quarter, not fourth quarter collapse. But the third quarter collapse happens on both sides of the ball for Detroit, and it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
I think they panic hired Dan Quinn because Johnson pulled the rug out, the tough toenails for him. I think they absolutely thought. See, I heard Washington, Seattle turned Ben Johnson down because he wanted $15 million or more. I heard that on the Rich Eisen show. See, that's what Adam Schefter started putting out, was all that bullshit. Ben Johnson literally, as they were landing in Detroit, said, "Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm staying with Detroit." Washington was prepared to offer him $16 million a year, and he told him no. The only one that pulled out because they didn't want to pay $15 million or more was Seattle. But by him saying what he said in that presser, if there was any reservations about giving him the money in Seattle, guess what? It was gone then because he said he wanted to stay in Detroit. Because his interview was scheduled for the next day with them. Well, we're getting up against it, and I got another show to run. Dan, you got any parting shots before I go into sponsors?
No, not really. Not today.
I think we pretty much covered it all, right? For football talk?
We did. I think we did.
Right.
And a bunch of wrestling talk.
Yeah, we added a little bit of wrestling. Yeah, that was fun. I love talking a little bit of all sports. I also am a writer for the South Florida Tribune. My writings is mostly about the Lions, but it also is about the NFL. But I do podcasts with my publisher, sometimes on Thursdays, sometimes before my show on Wednesdays, and always every Sunday. And Sunday we got a Super Bowl pregame show at 1:00 between I and the publisher's wife, and she's a Packers fan. What were the finals numbers that Harbaugh got with the Chargers? Isn't he the highest paid coach in all of football now? I'll look that up and we'll discuss that tonight. I go live at 9:30 if you can tune in. I'll discuss those. Do I follow any other Detroit teams? I follow all Detroit teams, and I'm a University of Michigan realistic, not a slappy fan. I'll go there. I think we're in for a little rough stretch here. I think we're going to be okay for about a year and a half. But once the rest of Jim Harbaugh's recruiting class leaves, that he left for Sharon Moore, we're going to see what type of recruiter Sharon Moore is. And I kind of agree with Colin Cowherd and what he said about teams that do that hire the coach underneath the last great coach. After a year and a half, 2 years, you see a major drop off in talent. In Michigan, yes, they draw people in, but there's a reason why they only end up with top 5 and top 10 recruiting classes. Every year for the past 3 years, Harbaugh held Michigan hostage during the recruiting cycle. So you lose out on a lot of your top end recruits. 9:30 this evening. Yes, sir. I do it every Friday, 9:30. It's called the Lions Fan Cave Chat. I get anywhere from 3 to 6 guys. I don't like doing any more than that because it's too hard to get people to shut up and give somebody a space to talk. 4 guests is usually my top. But what's that FTP stand for? I know it's not a florist. What's that sponsor called there, Dan?
I don't care. It's fuck the Packers.
Hey, it's the only time we drop that word all show. Good job. So put it in the chat. FTP. We love Steve is real. One of the best Packer fans out there. He is. Yeah. Is it live on Facebook? Yeah, I will put it right into the Villain Squad tonight. That's no problem, Ricky. I usually get lives like Detroit Dom. The Butt Chin Padawan, Will Vogel won't be able to make it tonight, but we might have a logo show up in his place.
We have a replacement. Don't worry.
FTP for Ricky Sakat. But the NFC North was the second best division in football by win total. If the Commanders could have been better and the Giants could have been better, it could have been the NFC East with the way they were top heavy. I'm not wrong. Don't give me that look, Leonard.
Hold on, I'm insulting Will real quick.
Oh, you're insulting Will? My other sponsor, I have a good friend in New York, and he's a big-time Giants fan. We're probably going to take. We're discussing what day or night we're going to do it, but we're going to do a little Giants talk, or we might throw at least one Giants topic in each day because I want Leonard to be able to talk about his team too. I think it's fair. I think it's a good idea. What do you think, Leonard? You like that? Or you can at least talk a little Giants
I'm fine
every
with that.
day?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let you come up with your own Giants topic and let me research it so I can give a good and valid opinion on it.
We can
How's
talk
that?
about my favorite Giants topic ever. The whole fuck Geno Smith topic.
Oh, you can do that the first time and I'll let you have your rant. How's that?
God, I hate that guy.
James Luke, what would make you happy? For somebody in management to actually listen to you? Little Giants, what a great movie. It was a great movie. James Luke, I don't know what you're griping about. This is a podcast. We have our own opinions. If you don't like what you hear on my show or you don't like me, don't tune in. I don't care. We can talk about how great Galladay was for about a whole 30 seconds. Fred, that's mean. Look at the face Leonard just made. You just mentioned the word Galladay, and he turned into the sourest sour guy I've ever seen. Because that GM was an idiot. But my other sponsor, of course, Glass Negron, best window tinter in Saginaw. Give him a call. If you're here in Michigan and you need your windows tinted, it's worth the drive. He's a great guy. 989-443-9240. Call and schedule your appointment. Tell him Smokin Jeremy B sent you. If you want a great detailed job, he is excellent at that too. Even good at removing pet hair from vehicles. I hate this double clicking touchpad. I gotta get me a real mouse. I can see all of these people's comments. What am I missing? So he's from another page. He goes, "What would make you happy for someone to actually listen to you?"
Yeah. King SJ. I am a Yankees fan as well. That's a little different though. That was because the rest of my family is all Mets fans, and yeah, screw them.
The Mets are trying to be the next Yankees of football, but they can't do it. They don't have Steinbrenner money or a valid GM to get them even close to what them. And Steve goes, "I'm a Yankees fan as well." But yeah, I love the Tigers. I think sorry to hear. Well, we can all hate the Red Sox together. That's about the best I can say. I'm good with that.
Me too.
I think the Tigers are much improved. Everybody's up in arms about the Colby Keith signing, and I actually think it was smart to sign him. Do I think it was smart to sign him for as much as it was? No, but he'd have been entering the Rule 5 draft this year. So I think it was smart to, when a guy has an OPS through two different minor leagues over 900, and a left-handed batter that can play second and third base, you lock that guy up before somebody else swoops in and grabs him. Aaron Judge and I are best friends, laughing my ass off. um, but it's been a great show. I got to go over there with Russell Wayne and or with Main Event Mike and Grove GT and do another show. So tune in shortly. Try every day to be a better person. You were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. God, family, football, in that order. Have a great day, everybody.